What line, Dennis, do you want me to take? Line 5. Okay. Line 5. Hello, line 5.
Hello. Good
Hi,
evening,
good
Gay.
evening.
Good evening, Mr. Giancana. My name's Sean. I'd just like to ask Mr. Giancana a question. From the mafia's inception, the core of it has been the family. Now, as can be seen in the recent Mafia New York trial, that element, the family, has been diluted. I would just like to ask Mr. Giancana, what is the present driving force behind the Mafia, that since its previous force has gone, and also what has the Mafia got to attract new blood into its whole organization?
Well, certainly when there's opportunity to make money, it's going to attract people, and I think that crime continues to attract, those kind of characters, whether they're Italian or otherwise. And I think we've seen kind of the heyday of the Italian mob with the trial in New York. We're starting to see younger men turning into the bosses, and they're no longer have that code of silence, and there's cracks in the armor now. But certainly we have seen other organizations, other elements come into the underworld, the Asian mobs and the South American mobs controlling the drug trafficking. So I think the Italian influence is waning, and we're starting to see other players come in because, let's face it, there's money to be made.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you. Good evening to you. Yes, my friend, did you want to say something?
Yes,
Hello.
please, Gay. Can I ask Sam, what he's saying is very persuasive. Presumably the mafia is still very powerful. So what payoff is the current administrations for the last 20 years or more making to protect them?
Well, it's a question, it's speculation on my part what the current status and influence of the mob is. I know during my uncle's time, as mentioned, they had tremendous influence with the organized unions and so forth. They'll continue to find ways of influencing politics and administrations in some fashion. Years ago, it used to be very direct. Then later, they contributed money through intermediaries. How they're doing it now, I really don't know. But certainly in American politics, we've seen a whole emergence of political action committees, lobbyists. Who's behind those people, I really don't know. But certainly, we need to be aware of that. I think of citizens of any country who is influencing the administrations.
Your uncle said that they were all bums and whores in Hollywood except Sinatra. He had a respect for Sinatra. Why particularly?
For some reason, he had a particular fondness of him. I don't know if it was because he respected his talent more or he just liked the kind of person he was, but he always seemed to favor him in conversations. And I remember as a young boy, my father telling me about my uncle's respect for Sinatra, and even when my father was present at several functions where Sinatra had performed, and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis, really he seemed to hold him in higher esteem. And eventually they wound up co-owning a Lake Tahoe casino called the Calneva.
Yeah, and they realized, of course, that a lot of Hollywood people, a lot of people in Hollywood who are struggling to become stars, that the mafia could help them and they could generate interest in them.
Well, certainly during the early years, the mob seemed to control a lot of the hangouts and the establishments that celebrities, that individuals needed to propel their career. And they also got a stronghold in Hollywood, particularly in the 1930s and 40s and into the 50s. So in one way or another, the entertainers really had to kind of understand that the mob was there and sometimes who was paying their bill.
Yeah. George Raft was up to his ears in it, apparently, all the way through.